end of the final episode, I don't at all raise an eyebrow or question Nori leaving the Harfoots to follow not Gandalf, because the Harfoots suck. So follow not Gandalf. Adventure. She always had that adventurous soul looking out to the horizon. That fits with her character very well. My question was, what was holding Poppy behind? She's still towing that goddamn wagon by herself. Why wouldn't Poppy take her raspberry-stained, chubby-cheeked face and go with them? Why not?
Well, because they had to have like a moment of doubt so she could be like not Samwise.
I mean, again, wasn't that just kind of shitty writing? They just kind of...
It really was. Why would there even be a question that she was going along?
What prospects does Poppy have for, like, having... there are no, like, young, virile male Harfoots that are, like, trying to catch her eye and get her off in the bushes or anything like that. It's just nothing. It's a bunch of...
Well, that's because she's a fatty.
I mean, that was kind of a weird thing when she left Poppy behind, right? What's Poppy staying for?
That whole scene, that whole chunk there where Nori leaves, it was clear they were coming up several minutes short on the episode because they dragged that out so bad. It was like a third of the episode was her leaving the Harfoots. Just leave. Just have a cutscene.
What you could see if you like catch it like off to the side is some production assistant kind of making that whole like that extend vamp, you know, like work that shit a little longer because we need time.
Maybe they wouldn't have come up so short if they hadn't just instantly teleported to everywhere they need to be at all time.
I know, I still don't know where they are.
Nobody knows where they are.
Well, they had to have been within ejecta distance of Mount Doom. So were they in the Southlands? Were they in Mordor? There were too many trees.
Do you think the writers took even a moment to consider that?
No. Sadly, no.
If it doesn't appear on page 1 of the wiki, then they don't know about it.
She's not going to become Merry and or Pippin.
Well, no, she's Simulation Sam.
Well, Sam was the protagonist and the hero, arguably, but I will argue vociferously that Sam was the main protagonist of the entire trilogy.
Absolutely. Plus being the most identifiable with character. You want to be Sam. You want to be as brave as Sam was and as strong as Sam was and as, reliable.
Nobody wants to be Frodo. Frodo was all sickly and pale and being carried for half the fucking movie.
Frodo was an emo goth kid.
Yeah. Sam was awesome. And if you don't know too much about The Lord of the Rings and you're watching the beginning first episode, Fellowship of the Ring, and you're like, Merry and Pippin are going along too? Isn't that like too many hobbits? Oh, they only have 9 people and they're going to make 4 of the hobbits? Like 45% of the Fellowship of the Ring were a bunch of ineffectual little douchebag hobbits. I knew what was going on because I read the books, but I could imagine a first-time viewer being like, what the fuck are they doing? And also, in the books, they actually were like, we need Frodo, and we can't keep Sam away. Sam will come, whether we like it or not. And then Merry and Pippin were like, oh, we'll come too. And I think like Boromir or somebody was like, what, really? So, they actually called bullshit, but then Gandalf talked them into it.
Yeah, if you're leading a dangerous expedition, your crew complement is Gandalf and others. So it really doesn't matter.
I mean, Gandalf's point was if it ever comes down to a warrior versus a hobbit, then we've already failed because if it gets to that point. So makes perfect sense. Plus hobbits, more so than even elves, were stealthy as balls.
Oh, yeah.
And that,
Plus 4 racial bonus to stealth checks. I mean, come on.
I know. They were on a stealth mission. Hobbits are the way to go. Plus, you got an evil ring that horribly affects everyone except non-assuming hobbits. So 4 hobbits, 100%. Looking back, it makes sense. But my point is, if I was a first-time viewer with no prior experience, I'd be like, Merry and Pippin, what the fuck? And it turns out they were like Mac Daddies. One of them pledges himself to the Riders of Rohan. One of them pledges himself to Gondor. They both gain like a foot from the Ent juice that they drank. And by the end of the book, they were just like the Mac Daddy hobbits. So I want that for Poppy, and I'm not going to get that from the writers.
No, you are not.
Yeah, Poppy needs to drink and juice and become a pimp daddy Harfoot, but she won't. She won't help out in the death of the Witch King of Angmar. She won't do anything awesome. I could be wrong. And writers, by any chance, if you're listening, I want some justice for Poppy, is all I'm saying.
Hashtag justice for Poppy.
Justice for Poppy. Oh, I'm going to start that. I just feel so bad for her.